All right, Dr. Rouse here, just doing a quick video for you on veneers. One of the things that I notice a lot is sometimes, somebody will come to me and they'll have a kiddo that's, hurt their tooth, fallen, some kind of traumatic accident with a skateboard, or maybe they've been, you know, uh, out playing and maybe took a baseball or an elbow to the face or something. So they break one front tooth, right? And that's when they're a kid. And then eventually, as they get into teenage years or adult years, their jaw and their bite changes because the jaw from the side, the profile, they start to look more, especially if it's a boy, they start to look more manly. So their teeth are actually changing, and their jaw is actually changing as well, becomes more squared off, and their bite changes, right? So eventually, what happens is the filling falls off, and the kiddo's sliding, right? Because they're losing their baby teeth, they get adult teeth, and then you put on a second filling, or you try to bond it. There's two different things. You can either bond it or you can make a veneer. Even if you veneer the tooth, though, and you permanently glue something to it, still the bite keeps changing, right? Because even up to 22, 23 years old, sometimes I've seen people where they are continuing to grow. I know that everybody likes to think you're done growing like when you become an adult legally, like 18 years old, but it's not true. You can continue to keep growing, and the bite can continue to change. So what happens is a veneer will pop off or it'll fall off. So I wanted to go over a couple of these examples here, but here's a good one, where it's just you can tell this is like a big, let me put this here out of the way, but you can tell this is a big filling. And you know, the best part about this picture that I love is that you can tell this person's had braces. Their teeth look awesome. Like the setup of the teeth is fantastic. So the chances of this filling, it's still going to fall off. It's still going to break at some point. But you could tell it gets discolored because even with a great smile, a great setup of teeth, it still puts pressure on it. And I think of something, it's like a springboard on a pool. So if somebody's jumping up and down on a pool, it's sort of like that. Every time you're sliding your teeth forward, you're putting more pressure on it, right? So eventually what happens is something breaks, but this is with an ideal setup. So let's talk about most people. They come in and they say, hey, doc, can you fix my kiddo's tooth, or can you fix my tooth? And it looks something like this. So the people don't have perfect teeth. They either have a crossbite, something's going on, and maybe this person never got braces. They say, I want all my teeth to match and look the same. Well, one of the reasons why the gum's higher here than it is here is because one tooth is farther forward. That's one of the reasons it's getting a crack. And I can almost guarantee you in a lot of instances, this tooth underneath this tooth is the one that's on that springboard putting the most pressure. Because if the bottom teeth are crowded up, let me zoom in like this, the teeth that are farthest forward are putting the most pressure on the teeth above it. So let's go to another picture here. And these are not my cases, these are other people's work here, but I just wanted to zoom in on the principle. Is nothing to do with about how well the work is done. I mean, clearly this is a great restoration. The doctor did a great job trying to match the color. What's the problem is that the bite is still crowded up. The person's never done aligners, they've never done braces, and a main reason why something doesn't last is because of the bite. It has nothing to do with how beautiful the restoration is. It has everything to do with the person's bite. So a lot of times when I recommend something, and believe it or not, this may have been that same way as well, if you're missing a big chunk of the tooth, I usually recommend something that hugs the tooth, goes all the way around it. So I think of a veneer can be either sort of like a 360 where you're going all the way around, full coverage veneer. Sometimes, people will just opt for a crown versus a full coverage veneer. And I could do a separate different video on amount of tooth structure that's taken away for that. But in these type of instances, this is where I say, hey, let's just go ahead and do a crown, because we're really talking about a jacket. A jacket for a veneer is typically not even 180 degrees. It's almost more than that. It's usually something that goes around the sides of the tooth anyway. So we're typically talking about that last 25% of the tooth. Are you okay with just going ahead and making it full coverage? Now, if we're talking about somebody that comes in with these teeth on the right, and let's say it wasn't a, a veneer or anything, it was just like perfect, like all the teeth were natural teeth. You can tell this person has a crown back here, but if they were all natural teeth, that's when I say, like, let's consider veneers, because the tooth is not broken, all the teeth look great. Let's just take away the minimal amount possible. But in certain instances, when somebody says my front tooth and I want it to last forever, I usually say, are you planning on doing anything with your bite? And if they say, no, I'm not planning on doing anything with my bite, at least for the next year, then I would say, then we should really consider doing a crown. So um, I have no affiliation with this company up here. I just wanted to do a quick video there on why I recommend a crown versus a veneer and the problems that can happen with veneers, because whenever you see these videos, a lot of times there's nothing that's shown to you about people's bite. They usually show you a photo that looks something like this, where the teeth all look fantastic, but how do they match up with the lower teeth? So I know that's been a longer video, but a lot of people want to know, and I actually am trying to make videos that don't have topics that have not been discussed on YouTube by other doctors, because there's a lot of information that I think is still out there to be made, and I get really pumped about these kind of things. And after my practicing for almost 15 years here, I've seen a lot of things, and a lot of things actually relate back to the bite. So hope that answers somebody's question out there. And if you are one of our patients, we hope that this information helps you as well. And if you're not, and you need a dentist, and you're in the Salina or North DFW area, please let us know. We would love to be your dentist. We would love to get a call from you about how to help, fix teeth. Usually we try to fix one tooth if we absolutely have to, but we also are in the business of trying to make smiles that last for a long time. So you take care, and we hope everybody out there in YouTube land is having a great day. All right, bye-bye.